Mix 97.7, Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth there. It's 8:04 and partly sunny today and going up to about 45. A little foggy here in Poughkeepsie, 32 degrees, and a special guest in the studio here this morning, the Town of Wappinger Supervisor, Lori Giava. Hi, Lori.
Good morning, Mark. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Now, you're going to have to get just a little closer to that microphone so we don't lose you there. So you are a rising star in the world of government here in Dutchess County.
I'd like to think so.
And I appreciate you stopping by. Now, Town of Wappingers is a huge deal, and you must work like nonstop to...
7 days a week.
What does a supervisor do? You're in charge of budgets. What else?
We're in charge of budgets. We're in charge of all the employees. We're in charge of all the, the infrastructure of the town, our buildings, our grounds, our residents.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot to oversee, and we have to make sure that we are in sync with the Office of State Comptroller, as well as New York State legislation, New York State code law. There's just so much to do. Our buildings and grounds, our zoning department, our building department, assessors, receiver of taxes. We just are responsible and accountable to everybody.
Wow. So, I've had some experience over the years. I did some news for a while covering different meetings and so forth. And the meetings can get a little rough.
Fortunately for me, the town of Wappinger so far, in the last year has been really harmonious.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great board. I love working with them. We share a common vision and we collaborate well. In past history, I sit on 4 other boards as well, but in my past, I've seen some controversial issues depending on which side of the fence or personal agendas, and none of us come to the table with a personal agenda. So I think that's really what's best for the residents of the town because we share a common vision for them.
So what do you think is the major issue facing Wappingers right now? Well, it's hard to pick one, I would think.
I don't think anything is a major issue. I think it's more about a puzzle. And, how do we stimulate economic development? Well, we need to do X, Y, and Z prior to that, whether it's infrastructure down Route 9, whether it's, having better relationships with the businesses, we just reduced taxes. So our 2017 budget reduced taxes to commercial owners as well as residential owners. Mm-hmm. And we were able to reduce them inside the village and outside the village. This way it gave people a little bit of a savings, but to understand that our government is working for them to improve the quality of life, increase the services, even little services. I come up with some innovative ideas for residents and just something to throw out there. I do an article every week, and I try to communicate with the residents to show what we're doing for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was reading on the Town of Wappinger's website, and maybe you can speak to this. According to legend, back in 1696, Captain Kidd, the famous Scottish pirate, Captain Kidd, sailed out of New York Harbor up the Hudson River to Hughesonville, since the area at that time was not settled, and it is said that Captain Kidd buried his stolen treasure somewhere within the hamlet of Hughesonville in the town of Wappingers. And I did some further research on this, and the treasure has not been found. There was a thing that happened a couple of years ago. They said that it was off the coast of Madagascar. They dove for it. When they dove down, it was nothing but lead pipes down there. So
Hughesonville. I was born in Hughesonville. My deputy supervisor, Bill Beal, was born there as well. I think that what we're going to do is we're going to have a Saturday dig day.
So, okay, that's what I would like you to see.
Would you come with us?
Can you declare that?
I can. I'll talk to Bill, and we'll see if we can declare a national dig day in Hughesonville.
Townwide
dig day.
Dig, yeah.
And whatever the treasure is, we can then put back into the town.
No. Whoever gets it, whoever digs it up,
I have a lot of work
it.
to do. This is like finding a grant.
Whoever digs up the treasure wins it.
No, I don't think so, because it would be town property. Well, would you pay taxes on the land it sat on then?
Oh, well, sure. If it's worth that much.
I would have to go back and see what the land value would be.
All right. Well, you'll have to check into that for us, and then we'll have you declare
then it's
a day.
A deal. I'll declare the day for you.
And everybody can start digging up the town of Wappingers. There you go. See?
Then I get my pipes laid.
There you go. There you go. All right, we'll take a little break here. We'll come back, talk more with the Town of Wappinger Supervisor, Lori Giava. It's 8 minutes after 8 now, Mix 97.7.
Let's go.
Mix 97.7, Black Eyed Peas there, 16 after 8, partly sunny today, temps in the mid-40s and 32 degrees now. Wappingers Town Supervisor Lori Giava hanging out with us here for a few more minutes, talking about stuff that's going on in the town. We've just been talking during that song about this big treasure hunt that we're going to set up in the town to get Captain Kidd's buried treasure in Hughesonville. That's you guys. Hey, look, if you don't believe me, you can look up Captain Kidd's treasure on the internet and see that it's still out there. And that is the story. That's off the town website. That
I'm going to declare the dig.
You're going to. Okay.
I'm going to speak to our historical, and I'm going to declare the dig.
All right, very good. Now, there's a party going on this weekend.
Yes,
Town of Wappingers. What's going on
tomorrow night? We're going to have a party at the Villa Borghese. It's a Winter Wonderland party. We wanted to do something before the holidays for residents, communities in the area, and employees. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be strictly a holiday party with entertainment, food, $55 a couple, open bar. Sit down meal and DJ. It's just going to be a real good time. We have 100 and I believe 20 people already signed up.
Wow.
And God only knows how many more are coming. So it's going to be a good time.
All right. So what time does that start?
It starts 6:30.
And people can walk up if they want?
Yep. If they bring a shovel for the dig, they're going to get a discount because we'll do the dig the next day after the party.
All right. Yeah. We're kidding about that, by the way. Don't start digging up the town yet. We'll let you know.
Start at the Villa Borghese.
Yeah. We'll let you know. And then that will be wild. Wouldn't that be crazy if you actually did find Captain Kidd's treasure?
I think I'm going to do this.
Town of Wappingers. I mean, it's an interesting story.
In the springtime, we'll look at it as soon as the ground's a little softer.
Yeah, there you go. All right, now on a more serious note, and of course, every municipality has serious problems in the area, and Wappingers probably the big. Are you the biggest town, or is it Town of Poughkeepsie?
Town of Poughkeepsie.
Town of Poughkeepsie is the biggest.
We're neck and neck with East Fishkill right now.
Okay, so there is the problem of heroin and the opioid addiction, and that certainly is no stranger to Wappingers either. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think it was no stranger to Wappingers because of Metro North coming up, and usually it used to be City of Poughkeepsie was your biggest drug problem, but now demographics have changed. The village is right off Metro North and Beacon and Fishkill, and it just keeps coming up. And the thing about heroin and opioids is that people are so addicted to them physically that they can't even break free from it. So it wasn't like your drug of the 80s, cocaine, where it was more of just your fun and a party. This is something you're physically dependent on, and you will go to any length to get it.
Absolutely. So and what they're doing now, too, not just the heroin, this is the fentanyl, which is even stronger than heroin. They're
cutting it. They're trying to make it better.
Yeah.
And people are literally dying, at the first try. It's not anymore where you're an addict and you're dying from Hep C or HIV. You're literally dying because of the cut, the mix, or not knowing what you're doing. It's not even just a teenage thing, although it's more prevalent there now because
Absolutely.
It's easier to get. But, you have 40 and 50-year-olds that are just dying every day.
Yep.
Every day. And, we need stronger legislation. We need more supportive programs. We need to get people into a rehab. And it's not just about, detoxing them, sending them back out. What do? They only know one thing. You need to rewrite their hard drive. You need to give them supports 360 degrees all around them. And that's the only way you're going to make it successful. And if we don't do that, society's going to pay the price for it.
So how do we get, of course, we don't have, the time to cover that, but how is Town of Wappingers going to try and deal with that issue?
I work with many different agencies all the time. Yesterday I had a meeting, I worked with a special law enforcement agency and how we are trying to advocate with senators and with congressmen. In November of 2015, they said they were setting $3.5 billion up to the Northeast to fight this. I haven't seen anything. Mm-hmm. New Hampshire, Massachusetts are a little bit ahead of us because they've had the problem longer. But you need to first have all the component, mental health, law enforcement, all the different involved agencies to support a whole person. In education, they talk about the whole child. How do we support the whole child? Social, emotional, education. How do we support the whole person? Because once you're 18, you're supposed to be off on your own. But that's not the case. And if we do not support society, our society is going to see the effects of it generation after generation after generation.
Well, the problem with the heroin now is it's cheaper than pot.
Yeah, and kids are just trying it. It's no more just...
You try it one time and you're hooked. That's
and it used to be pills.
Yeah.
And I still believe pills play a role in it. But now kids are like, hey, you want to try this? Mm-hmm. I'll show you. You can snort it. You can shoot it. It's no more is anybody afraid of the consequence of what could happen.
Right.
And that's the danger of this.
Well, it's something certainly affecting the entire Mid-Hudson area and the country too. So I don't really know where we go with it, but like you say, we've got to start
hard.
Taking some steps. On the fun note, anything fun happening in the town? Well, I know Village of Wappingers Restaurant Week is this week.
Yeah, and I've gone to 3 of them so far in the 3 days. I'm not sure where I'm going today.
Okay.
It's a restaurant week. We're supporting the village completely. Most of the village is in the town. So we support it. I work very well with the mayor, and we try to do things like Habitat for Humanity, and we try to pick projects where we can share the outcome together.
All right. So you're going to let us know when the big dig is happening
Big
for
dig, you are going to be spearheading it
Captain
with a
Kidd's
shovel.
Treasure. And then, of course, there'll be a Mark Bolger Day in the town of Wapners, too, which you can, work on that.
I'm going to work on that for y'all. I'm going to get a proclamation together.
All right. Lori Giava, Supervisor, Town of Wapners. Thank you, Lori.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you in. We'll have you back, too.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank
Mix
you.
97.7, 22 after 8. Let's check traffic.
Mix 97.7, Time Saver.